Hey guys, welcome back to the Omaha Places podcast. We're your hosts. My name is Cahner and I'm the founder of Omaha Places and 402 Social.
And my name is Delaney. I'm the digital content coordinator for Omaha Places.
My intrusive thoughts were like really coming in right there. I almost forgot how to say all of that. Like
Which
every
is weird
word that I said, I was like, no, that's wrong.
Because we've been saying the same thing, but now we're back in our original location.
Yeah. So. You're also looking very jungly today.
Thank you. You know, I got this at Style Encore last week. I was like, oh, that'll be perfect. I'm wearing that for the podcast.
You should wear that to late nights at the zoo. I feel like that's a very cute. Like jungle zoo, even though the jungle's not even open during late nights. But the vibes are still there.
And it can be strapless too.
Oh, cool.
That was like a cool thing. I was like, did the strap just break off? And I was like, oh no, it's okay. So it can be like a little tube top jumpsuit too.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm happy. It's in my colors.
Oh, we love the colors. Okay, wait, this is actually a good segue because I went to late nights at the zoo. I didn't even do that on purpose.
Yes, you have to tell us all about that behind the scenes
okay.
thing.
So I promised you guys an update after I did the behind the scenes aquarium thing. It was so cool. So it's like an hour-long thing, which looking back, so I had emailed JC, who's our contact at the zoo, beforehand, and I was like, okay, cool, like what time am I meeting? Where do I meet? Because I didn't purchase it through the website, so I didn't like get all the information. And then she just never emailed me back, and I was like, okay, cool. So we just showed up like at 7, which was when the gates opened for late nights. And so I call her and she came and met us and she was like, oh, by the way, I saw your email. Totally my bad. I forgot to email you back. This actually started at 6:30, like the just the behind the scenes part. And I was like, okay, so do we like not get to do it? And she was like, no, I'm going to like find another tour guide for you guys to like take you back.
Amazing.
JC's so great. So we like go in late and there's probably like a group of like 20 people like taking their tour, and they were with this like guy tour guide. And then we had a girl and she just gave us a private tour because we had showed up late, but like not through any fault of our own. So that was really cool, getting like a private tour on top of already getting to go behind the scenes. So you spend some of the time like up on top of the
tunnel,
the tanks.
I saw,
Yes. And so like we were looking down and we could see the people walking through the tunnel. I don't know if they could see us or not.
I've never even thought to look up like past what I'm supposed to. I guess I'm too entranced by the animals.
I have looked up before and I have seen people, but I don't remember. I just assumed that they were like the caretakers. Yeah, the zookeepers. Yeah. So I don't know if people realize that, you know, it was just people taking a tour. But anyways, so yeah, it's a completely different like world when you're looking at it from above. And there was one shark that was literally sitting like right on top of the water, and we just had the perfect view of him. I could have touched him if I wanted to. Obviously I didn't. And then there's a bunch of parts of the tank that we like walked behind or like we're looking down on that you can't see when you're in like the regular part of the zoo. So that was also really cool because I was like, oh, you guys got like a whole other room back here that I didn't even know about. Yeah. So yeah, that part was really cool. And then we went downstairs into the basement, which is where they keep all of the like water purifiers, and they have the like a bunch of extra water because, you know, God forbid something happens, they have to like have extra water to, you know, keep the fish in. They have all these bags of like, I'm sure it has salt in it, but they basically make the water that the animals go in. So they have all these bags of like the mixture that they just pour in the water. They have a lot of tanks where like fish who are sick or have to be quarantined, or little babies like that, all of those go in. And a lot of that stuff is like not even, the public can't see that unless you're doing the behind the scenes tour.
And how much was the tour like for people who want to buy tickets? It was
$75. So it is quite pricey. I think, so here's my opinion. I am honestly not like a huge animal person. I don't know. Like, I thought it was really, really cool. If I had paid for that, I don't know if I would have, like, I don't think I would have paid for it on my own. But if you are an animal person, I think it's definitely worth it. Like, if that kind of thing is really interesting to you. I just know myself, I'm not, like, that's not one of my interests. I don't know if you're a big animal. Like I like going to the zoo, but I'm not like crazy about animals. I hope that doesn't come off mean or anything.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, it was cool. We got to walk into the fridge that they keep all of the like food in, and it's just all these like frozen fish. And then they have a chart for like what animals get what fish, and they apparently get like a customized like extra nutrition pill each day. So anytime they get a shipment of food, meaning like other fish that are food, they're already dead. The nutritionist will like analyze each shipment and decide what nutrients it's lacking on, and then give a customized extra nutrition to the fish based on that. So like you learn little facts like that you're just not learning that stuff when you're walking around on your own. Like you really need a zookeeper there telling you all of these cool facts.
Right. That's super cool.
That was really cool.
Well, good. It sounds like a fun experience.
It was. And it was also, since it was the first late nights, it was probably the least packed late nights I'd have ever been to, which
people
I
just
personally
didn't
really
know about
liked.
it.
Yeah. So there's another one tonight, but this is coming out next week.
So it'll be after the College World Series.
Yes.
I want to say like the 26th is ringing around in my brain.
Yep.
I went to True Pottery Studio, which was formerly Creative Culture with the milkshakes and the paint your own pottery. They still have the paint your own pottery. No milkshakes though, because they've added some other fun things. So wood projects, a plant station, so you can pot your own plant, paint your pot.
Oh, that's cool.
There. And then you can either hand make your own pottery, or they have pottery wheels now, which is what Omaha needed.
Yes.
The closest pottery studio before for pottery wheels was in Elkhorn or in Papillion.
Yeah.
At Rosie Clay Co. But you can use methods like coil and the pottery reels to make whatever you want now, which is super cool. So that's why it's not like feasible to have the milkshakes with that, because the dust is just it's a bad hazard.
Yeah,
so,
the wheels are much messier.
And you don't want those dust particles flying into food. So it's okay. The milkshakes are gone, but there's plenty of ice cream downtown for you to check out. But
go to Senti.
It was super cool. Yeah, go to Senti.
Yeah. And they are under new ownership now, right? That's why the changes.
Yep.
Cool. But same location?
Yep.
Cool.
And pretty much same layout, but where the milkshakes were, that's where all the pottery wheels and like a new studio area is.
Okay.
So
and we will be doing an updated video on that.
Yes.
I think when it was Creative Culture, that video was one of the the second highest performing video we've ever gotten or ever had in terms of reach or views.
I guess I didn't know that, but it was during like the winter, I think, and there's always like a need for things to do in the winter. So if you want us to come in the winter, we're always available.
DMs.
Just not in June.
Yeah. June is our busiest month, which I kind of knew in the back of my head. It had just never been like formalized. And I think this year we have solidified that.
Well, I think this is the most paid post we've ever had for June.
Yeah.
Normally, like, we always have a lot of posts, but they're more like we take the initiative to create them because we know you guys want to know about it.
Yeah.
But we're
College
working
World
with
Series.
College World Series is crazy.
And this is the first year that we have formally worked with the College World Series, which is really fun for us.
And normally we just post our own little thing, but this is super fun and a little more insight into what you guys will be experiencing down there.
Yeah. Okay. I went to Gospel Brunch at Jewell on Capitol. So I went to the very first one that they had, which was this last Sunday. But this is going to be happening every Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. I believe it's $50 or $55 for just like all-inclusive buffet style. The food was actually really good. It had more of like a Cajun style.
Oh, interesting.
Or like kind of like a Southern brunch. So they had chicken and waffles. They had different types of deviled eggs, which was cool. They had a big spread of fruit and little parfaits. And then like normal stuff, bacon, sausage, scrambled eggs, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the food. Had a little mimosa, and I think they had some Bloody Marys too. I think alcohol is the only thing you have to pay extra if you want that. But otherwise, all of the food is all inclusive. And then they had a jazz player up on stage. So if you guys have never been to Jewell on Capitol, it is inside the Marriott in downtown Omaha. So if you are here for the College World Series, this would be very close. And typically it is, do they always do jazz?
They don't always do jazz. They used to be a jazz only bar, but now I think they mix in different genres as well.
Okay. But they always have music going on. But now they are just launching this Gospel Brunch. It was not actually religious. I should say that. Like, he was just playing normal music. They just call it Gospel Brunch.
It's just a Sunday.
I think Gospel Brunch is like a Southern thing. That's like what they actually call it down there. But it was kind of funny. The manager of, I think, of all of the Marriott or of their like restaurant program or something was talking to us, and he was like, yeah, it was surprisingly hard to find somebody to play on a Sunday, and that's why the brunch is so late, because it's 1 to 3 p.m. And I was like, that's more like lunch. But he said nobody will play on a Sunday morning because apparently all the musicians are going to church and playing at church.
Or they're playing late Saturday nights.
Yeah, that too. So that is why it's 1 to 3. But so you guys can go check it out. You can make a reservation, but reservations are not required, at least right now. But maybe this will really pop off, and then we will need reservations.
Yeah. And you went to another brunch place too?
I did. I had a busy weekend. This is the second week in a row that like my whole week is actually really busy. I went to Homegrown in Blackstone, which is not locally owned, but I believe it's only in the Midwest, or Kansas City.
Or maybe it just has another spot in Kansas City. But.
Yeah, they only have like a couple locations, and I believe they're only in the Midwest. But yeah, that is a new breakfast spot in Blackstone. It's right on the corner of like, I think it's the KETV building, like right on Farnham.
Isn't it the new 47 Farnham building, or is it down the street a little ways?
I think it's down the I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that either way. They also, it's right on the corner. They have a patio. They have a big sign like right on the corner of the building. And yeah, pretty much your typical brunch breakfast food. It was really big inside, like a lot bigger than I was expecting. It's kind of in a U shape. So when you're on like one side, you kind of miss the other side. And then they have a patio too. That nobody was sitting on when I was there, so maybe it's not actually open yet. I'm not totally sure, but they have tables out there, so they're clearly doing something. And I got an Eggs Benedict. It was pretty good. Not the best Eggs Benedict I've ever had, and I love an Eggs Benedict, but it was like the whole vibe was good. Wasn't too loud. Like we just were in a little corner booth chit-chatting with the girls, so
cute.
Go check it out, guys.
Speaking of Blackstone and the 47 Farnham building, like they're opening a new bar down there. The
Revival. Yes.
I heard that it's similar to Flagship, or one of the owners of Flagship branched off for this particular venture, because that's what someone who works at Flagship was telling me. So this could be just them talking.
But Flagship has posted it on their stuff already, so it's still affiliated somehow.
It is affiliated through one of the owners, so I could see that Flagship promotes it, but it's still like only partially owned by one of the Flagship people, because Flagship said that they had opened so many concepts that one more would just be a lot for right now.
They really have opened many lately.
Yeah, Memoir, Ghost Donkey,
Cleo. Yeah.
Is that it?
Champagne Lanes.
Yeah, Ghost Donkey, Champagne Lanes. But yeah, so I think this particular partner of theirs was like, I want to open this. Are you guys down? And then they were like, not right now, but you can if you'd like to. Okay. You know, so that's what the Revival, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but that bar that's opening underneath 47 Farnham is going to be. So interesting. I'm very excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, I was poking around a couple weeks ago online, and I saw that the Flagship Facebook account had like posted about the Revival account, and I was like, what the heck? I've never seen this. And it was like 2 days after they had even made the page that I found it. And I was like, what the heck is this? And then we reached out to Blackstone, and our person there was like, oh yeah, this is opening. I was like, cool. So it's like a little tiki bar is I believe, but like an elevated tiki bar.
Yeah.
So
all of their concepts are super elevated. So this should be a fun little addition to Blackstone once it's completed.
Agreed. I think it's going to be like that's the perfect spot for it too. And I like that there's so much stuff opening in Blackstone. Like it was already a very established district and like had great spots, but I like that they're kind of expanding down the street too, and like new buildings, new apartments.
Yes, I do like all the developments down there just because it's always been kind of a younger crowd that's established down there. So there's less to do for people who are in their 30s and beyond, especially if they're staying at the Cottonwood Hotel, for example.
Agreed.
Or just living in those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder, I bet like in Blackstone, even the streetcar is also fueling a lot of that development.
True. That makes it the perfect development spot. That is probably why all this is happening. You're right.
Even like that big apartment complex and stuff. Cool. Okay. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to?
Okay. I'll jump in for one.
Okay.
I went to Jake Owen at Harrister Cove. They gave us tickets for the patio on this one. We'll have 4 other shows with them. And Connor will be going to the Simple Plan.
Yep.
But yeah, I got the patio seats, which was super fun. It's just off of Guy Fieri's restaurant. And you got to order food like right when you got there.
Oh, cool.
That you could order, and they'll deliver it to your table, like you order online or whatever.
Yeah.
But they also have a pre-party area outside with food trucks outside of the venue.
Oh, cool.
So if you show up early to the show, you can definitely grab drinks, grab food there.
Okay.
And then once you get in, they also have tons of drinks to choose from. So they'll have like beer coolers, and then you can order cocktails. And I got this huge like cocktail cup. It's, you can reuse it and take it in every time you go and get
cool.
Basically double drinks.
Okay.
The liquor is not that double. I was watching them pour it. I was like, that's like half of a shot that you gave me extra.
Half a shot in a double cup?
Well, it was like half extra shot than they normally would for a normal cup.
Oh,
so
I see.
I was like, I'm a bartender.
I know
but
that's
but
not
at
right.
the same time, I understand. I understand you're trying to keep people tame, and at least people have a drink in their hand for a little longer.
Yeah.
So yeah, we grabbed drinks up at the patio and sat there, which was basically like, I didn't stay up on the patio, I will say. Like those patio seats were sectioned off.
Okay.
So it was like hard to see from where we were.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But if the whole patio is open, that would be a fun spot.
Okay.
But it does come with its own bar.
Nice.
And then I spent most of my time down on the ground where general admission would be and VIP. And then you can always bring your chairs and blankets too, which I thought was super nice. But definitely get like a high spot.
Okay.
I'm giving you all the tips and tricks for Star Cove.
Yeah.
Because there is a line that if it gets too long can cut across and like basically cut your view. So yeah, get a high spot if you're going to sit in the back for the seated area. But yeah, it was super fun. I'm excited to go back. They're giving us deck tickets next time. I'll have 20 people up on a deck.
That is wild.
So we're gonna see how it goes, but it should be really exciting.
I think they gave us extra tickets from what they originally said, because even when you gave me my Simple Plan tickets, I opened it and I was like, I thought I was only supposed to have 2. I have 4. Oh, maybe I just misheard.
I got 2 for the first one, and then 4 for everyone after that, except the 20-person ticket.
Do you have 20 people?
I think so. It's coming together.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
That's honestly impressive. What show is that for?
Mike.
Okay. Cool.
And everyone asks me, like, who is that? Every time I ask them if they can go with me, I'm like, I have a free ticket and drinks for you. And they're like, who is that? I'm like, I'm sure you have him on your phone and you just don't know. Yeah. So search Mike, period. And every time, without fail, they have a song of his. And they're like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah. Dang, Mike. Nobody actually knows who he is, but everybody knows his music.
Yeah.
Well, that's such a Mike thing to do.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot going on. So,
did you get the reusable cup since you knew you were going to be there a lot this summer? That's smart, honestly.
Yep, I'm super excited to continue to reuse it. Yeah. It's not much of a deal, really, but it just saves me a trip is what it does if I'm having like fun watching the show. So
cool.
Would recommend.
Okay, I got to go on a tour of Heartwood Preserve, which was really cool. So I have talked about Heartwood Preserve many times on this podcast already, the new development off 144th and Dodge. We just took over their social media, which is why I suddenly am so in the know about them, and also why Megan and I got to take a tour. And first of all, this development is gigantic. I think it's like over 500 acres, which is a lot, especially for being like right in the middle of the city. And I think it is the largest intercity development, I think, in the nation right now, which is like crazy. So basically the land was bought from Boys Town by Applied Underwriters, which is an insurance company here. And now they're selling off plots of land to different development business or companies, agencies. I don't know what they're called. So like Lockwood was the first development company to buy a plot. So that's where like Little King is, First Watch, Starbucks. And then a lot of the other developments are either going to be office buildings, maybe some apartments. Well, there already are apartments going up. What's the complex in Exarban? Never mind. I can't think of the name right now. But that apartment's also going up in Heartwood Preserve. But I feel like I learned a lot about the area and like their future plans for the area. So I thought it'd be interesting to share some of those. So first of all, the name I thought was really interesting. They were very strategic about the name that they chose. So Heartwood is they're planting, I think, like 5,000 or 8,000 trees, like a crazy amount of trees. And so like Heartwood, like wood is the heart of this development. So that's why they chose that. And then the preserve is they're trying to preserve a lot of old things from when it was owned by Boys Town, because this is like an area that has a lot of history to Omaha. And so an example is, instead of having like a big neighborhood sign when you like drive from like any of the different entrances, they revitalized or like refurbished these old silos that were on the Boys Town property and put these silos at the entrance to the district. So rather than like having a generic sign or like the guy who was giving us a tour called them tacky signs. So instead of having a tacky neighborhood sign, there'll be these like preserved silos from when it was Boys Town. And then if you guys are from Omaha, you might remember there was this like kind of fallen down barn looking structure that used to be on that property. And I think for the most part that barn is gone, but there's part of it that is preserved. And I forget off the top of my head what they said they're putting around that area, but I think it might just be like in the middle of a park. So part of that barn is still there, like I think the base of it, which is kind of cool because I remember driving by that all the time. I went to Miller North High School, which is like just right there. So this area is very familiar to me. But eventually there will be, I think, 8 miles of walking and biking trails, all paved. Tons of parks. There are a lot of little like reservoir water areas that are kind of cool. If you go like kind of back on one of the trails, there's this big, like, we were joking that it was the Omaha ruins because it almost looks like a old tower, but it's made out of limestone, so it kind of has that like ruin look to it. So there's just like a lot out there, and there is going to be like continue to be a lot out there. They're creating what's called the Row, which is going to be a really long like walking street or a pedestrian street. I think no cars are going to be allowed on it, just full of retail on the bottom, commercial on the top, and then possibly apartments or condos on like above the commercial area. So
I love that concept. That's something that I feel like is missing. Like I think Noddle kind of has created that in the Exarban area a little bit.
Yeah.
But Iowa City has one of the best pedestrian walkways for retail that I've ever seen.
Okay.
And like coming here where it's like, I feel like Omaha has always kind of struggled with pedestrian friendliness.
Yes.
I am glad to see like some of these things going into place because they'll be super beneficial and promote biking and walking.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys think of that pedestrian area where like inner rail is, and then there's the
macaroon
chlorophyll,
place.
the macaroon place on the other side. So think of that, but like way longer and like bigger, and multiple different. So yeah, I think it's going to be really cool once it's all done. And then at the end of that is going to be where the current Heartwood Park is, which they're already doing a ton of events there. So, and you can actually see like the first building going up of the row when you're at Heartwood Park. So it's going to be cool to just like see the progress of that going up too.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So you guys should go check it out.
I'm going to have to go check it out. I need to go explore out there because
Yeah,
I really
you
haven't
should.
been out there much other than like 30 Hop and some filming at Little King.
Yeah, I was thinking I should have invited you on the tour. Or I had that thought before, and then I just never got around to telling you about it. So my bad.
It's okay. The last thing I had, I actually worked this for a little bit and then stayed after, but it's Blue Skies Saturday on the Courts. They're doing it once a month. The June date hasn't been confirmed yet, but I will keep you guys updated on the event guide. They have a live band, and then vendors are popping up. So they had like Kona Big Wave, and they were doing those patch hats. So you get to choose your patch
cool.
and then get it pressed for free.
Cool.
So I got one,
Nice.
obviously. And then plus they have some yard games going on like beer pong, cornhole, and then they're doing like some tournaments. So definitely stop by.
Love.
And I work some of these, so you can say hi.
All right. I had one more place I wanted to shout out. So I went down to Hardy in Highlander.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was in the parking lot and I was like, what the heck is that thing over there? And so my friend and I like went to check it out, and it's called the Micro Market. And it is literally a little market convenience store thing, but they have a mix of like dry goods and fresh produce. All of the fresh produce comes from local farmers, which was really cool. And then, I mean, they even have like a couple of cookbooks in there. They have pastas, pasta sauce, like literally just a little market. And
Cute.
I was like, this is so cool. And I'm pretty sure even the dry goods are from local vendors. It is a really small market. So it's one of those places you're not going to maybe go grocery shopping at, but
Grab a few things
grab
if
a
you're
few
in the area.
things. Yeah. And it was really, really cute inside. So
The Highlander Accelerator has kicked off their summer events. So they'll have like yoga, markets. They'll do wellness workshops, tons of cool stuff, all for free.
Yeah.
Movie nights. I think they had Moana last weekend. They'll have some more continue throughout the summer.
Yeah.
But that'll be in the newsletter always as well, because I
Love.
like to support them.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys should go to some of those events and then go check out the Micro Market while you're down there. It's on like the bottom floor, like where Hardy is. I have been to yoga, their free yoga series, and it is always really good.
And
it's
always
so
packed.
peaceful in that area. I don't know what it is about the Highlander. I feel at peace there.
I agree.
It's just like very zen. And yeah, when I have gone in the past, they do yoga up on like the second floor. So like where the food court or the food hall is.
Yeah.
So
I think the
love
one
it.
that was in Hardy, they outgrew, because I went to that one right when I moved to town.
Okay.
And it was packed, like
Yeah.
clear across the Hardy floor. So,
Dang.
but also they have food upstairs. I actually tried Big Mama's last time I was there, because I was filming Hardy, and then a big TV group came in to film something for Hardy, maybe a commercial or something.
Whoa.
I was like, I was trying to film. So I was like, okay, I'll just go get lunch. And it ended up taking them like 3 hours. I was like, okay,
Oh my
I'll just
gosh.
work on this. Whenever you're done, you let me know.
Dang.
And then they gave me a free coffee.
Oh,
like
nice.
one of the producers came over and was like, "Do you want this coffee? We don't want it to go to waste." I'm like, "Sure."
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, should we move into follower questions?
Yes.
So we post a question box on our Instagram story every Wednesday, so you guys are always free to submit questions there or just send us a DM. Which I don't think anybody actually sends us DMs outside of the question box.
Sometimes they do. Like we got
Do
that
they?
one question about Orpheum shows, like where to go to eat.
Oh, I
For
didn't even see
Orpheum
that.
shows. It's okay, I answered. If you do have that question, the closest places are Cattle Call and Dirty Birds.
And Cumbia
And Cumbia.
is a good one. And Mercury. Oh, they don't have.
They have
food
like
and-
snack food, like
Yeah.
charcuterie.
I forgot about
They're
that.
most known for their drinks,
Yeah.
though, and their drink themes. But
Yeah.
actually, that's a really good question because I'm going to go to one of those next week when I
Okay.
go to MJ.
MJ. I was gonna ask you if you wanted the tickets.
Ask someone else.
Okay.
I'm already going.
I kind of figured. Okay, anyways. The first question I pulled was best trails around the city to bike or walk. I love this question. You guys know I love biking / all the trails, but I have different answers for biking and walking. So for walking, I would say the best one is any of the riverfront trails because I feel like there's so much to see down there where like if I'm biking, I want to be like, I don't want to see a bunch of stuff. I just want a straight line that goes for a long ways. But at the riverfront, you can go through the Jean Leahy Mall, by Heartland of America Park, over to the Luminarium, and all of those trails connect. There's the lake or the trail that goes around the pond.
Which is the one I go to the most. I need to go explore.
Wait, so when you go down there, that's the only one
Yeah,
you
I
go
walk
to?
down like the new renovated riverfront area with the little
Yeah.
stepping stones and
Yeah.
stuff. And then I walk all the way around the park and back up, and then I go grab a coffee or something.
Nice. I was
My
actually
treat.
just thinking that because I haven't used my FIG passport stamp yet.
You can come with me today. I'm filming there today.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
I was going to save it for the weekend, but I actually think I might go film the bus stuff
Okay.
today. So
Okay.
maybe I'll ride the bus downtown and see if you're still there.
There you go.
Okay. And then for biking, I would suggest the Keystone. That is the best in my opinion because it also connects to the South Omaha Trail and the Big Papio Trail. So you're getting a lot of trail miles, which for me is something I always look for in a bike trail. I think the most I've gotten on the Keystone is 50 miles, but you could probably get more if you wanted to, especially if you like maybe go to the top of the Keystone and like start from there and you're kind of doing like an out and back. Like there's a lot you can do over there.
Oh my.
Yeah. And then I also so I take it all the way north to Lake Cunningham and then you can ride around the lake. It connects almost all the way to the lake. You do have to ride on the street for part of it. It's not very populated up there though, so there's not much traffic, but just so you know in case you're uncomfortable riding on the street. And then ride around the lake, and then it goes right by Exarban, and then all the way down. You can take it to Funplex, which I've always thought would be fun. Ride my bike to Funplex.
Didn't you say there was a trail that went to Bellevue Berry Farm?
Yes. So if you take Keystone, like from Exarban, take it all the way south, and then eventually there's going to be a wooden bridge that goes to the right. When you get to Culver's, take that bridge, stop at Culver's if you want some ice cream, and then just keep going, and then you'll eventually hit Bellevue Berry Farm. It's literally right on the trail.
Okay. Also, an Iowa trail would be the Wabash Trace.
Yes.
Which, if you do like the Council Bluffs area, there's a little it reminds me of like an old Dairy Queen, but there is a little
Okay.
ice cream shop right around the
Oh, cool.
trail.
Okay.
I'm thinking like Lake Manawa area. You could start at Lake Manawa and take the trail to.
Yeah.
I've walked it before, so it wasn't that far. But
The only thing I would say with the Wabash is that it's crushed limestone, I think, or crushed gravel, something like that. So just beware depending on what type of bike you have, because I have a road bike and I did not enjoy that very much. Just because my tires are not
Yeah.
made for that. Like my tires are
and I have a mountain
pavement
bike,
tires. So yeah, yours would be
Yeah.
fine on that. I think I do want to get another bike so that I can ride on all types of trails. I don't want to have to worry about switching out tires. I don't even know if that's possible even.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about bikes.
Yeah.
I just have my one bike that I don't ride.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody asked favorite bookstores, and this is great timing because pop fiction is my newest obsession. They're located in Little Bohemia. Yeah, and I said what I needed to say there, I guess. Another spot would be Urban Abbey, and you can't go wrong with coffee and books ever.
Yep.
So that's right downtown. And then if you want to hit 2 for 1, you can just go up the street to Jackson Street Booksellers. If you love to thrift, this is the bookstore for you. Because I did go in there, and you were right. It is crazy.
It's wild. You go in and you're like, whoa, that's the smell of old books.
It reminds me of a library.
Yeah.
That's never been organized.
Yeah.
And
it's just piles and stacks like to the ceiling of books.
But I love it at the
Yeah.
same time. I'm like, this is crazy. But
Yep.
yeah, if you find a treasure, you would, be so happy. So go check that out if you love to thrift for your books. The Afro-American Bookstore, they specialize in Black literature, Black culture. They're located in North Omaha. I went a month or so ago, and they did still have a mask mandate, but they do have masks when you walk inside.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, you know what? I think I just cleaned the last mask out of
Really?
my car, like the reusable one. I was
Yeah.
like, don't need that anymore. And I was like, dang it. But they do have them in the store. So if you want to go check that out, they'll get you set up. The Bookworm. Oh my goodness. Located on 90th and Center. I've been going there with my mom since it was in Countryside Village.
I didn't know they were in. Timber
is where the Bookworm used to be. And actually the coffee shop next door used to be that and a bookstore, and they would flow into each other, is from what I remember.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
It had like a downstairs, and that's where the children's section was. That's how I remember it. But anyway, it's moved to 90th and Center, and it's still an amazing bookstore. The children's section is still probably my favorite part of the store. It's just so magical in there. So go check that out. Legend Comics and Coffee. If you're more of a comic person and you love coffee, again, we love those places who have both. You can stop there, and they also have boba, which I thought was fun. And they're kind of like a little goofy, quirky. They had the Boba Fett, which was like a boba drink, but it's named after a Star Wars character. So I liked that about it. And they have a lot of community events there too. And then Next Chapter, which you've been to, I don't think I've been to it yet, is right next to Zen. So you can grab your book and your coffee like we always recommend. Yep. And then the last one I have is the Pen and Dagger, which is the newest, or no, it's the second newest bookstore in La Vista at the city center or within that area. They have a great selection of books and games and gifts. All sorts of good stuff.
One that is not open yet, but that is coming, I think, this summer. Are you thinking of the same one? I'm thinking
the bar.
The Dundee, the book bar. There's a place called Duck Duck Bottle Shop coming to Dundee. And again, this is not open yet, but I've talked with the owner a little bit. And here's what my understanding is that they're going to have books. I think they're going to have cocktails, maybe coffee. I'm not totally sure, but and then they have like a backyard area too. So I think it's going in, there's like a house, and then the house was bought by somebody. I don't think it was like the owner. I think he might just be leasing it. But if you guys know what house I'm talking about, do you know what house I'm talking about?
Kind of, maybe
like across the street from Exist Green.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that house. And I think that even maybe used to be a bookstore, but now it's a different book, or he's opening it. Anyways, it's a house, so it has a backyard, and he said he wants to have like events in the backyard, so maybe there'll be like live music and stuff. I just think it's going to be a really cool addition to Dundee, and I personally am very excited for that to open, because I first heard about this like a long time ago in Grow Omaha, and then I remembered I followed them on Instagram. and then it just completely disappeared. And I was like, I did not imagine this. I thought I was going crazy for a good like 6
you
months.
You asked me about it. You're like, have you heard that? I'm like, no, dude.
I really thought I was going crazy. And then it reappeared. And
I saw something
happening.
Downtown about a book cocktail lounge.
Another one?
That would be wild and cool at the same time. Which I'll do some more research on it now because that's the one I thought you were going to talk about. I thought Duck Duck Bottle was a totally different thing, but that's so cute. So I'll do some more research on it and bring it back next week. But I was at Omaha Tap House, was driving like on Farnham, and I looked over and I was like, and so maybe it used to be
in downtown or Midtown Crossing or
in downtown
on Farnham. Oh, there's nothing there right now, is there?
Oh, one street over.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can't really picture in my head.
Okay,
right now,
I'll do some research and I'll bring it back.
Okay, yeah. If you're going to Fig today,
oh yeah, I'm going to Fig today.
Do a little drive by.
That's funny.
Okay, somebody asked, what are some good bakeries downtown? I expanded this a little bit to be like East Omaha. I stayed like kind of close to downtown, but we expanded a little bit. So I talked about this last week, but Olson's Bake Shop was fantastic. They're located on 10th and Hickory. Sweet Magnolias, of course, is an Omaha staple. Everything they have there is just so good. They have 2 locations, one in Millwork Commons and then one on 40th and Cumming. You can also find them at a lot of coffee shops, like the new Big Grove coffee shop. They're selling Sweet Magnolias right now. I think a lot of other, I don't know, random other coffee shops too.
Oh yeah, we went to Big Grove. I forgot.
Yeah, we
about
did
that.
go to Big Grove, just the coffee shop, not the brewery. They're not open yet. But anyways, Bubbly Tart on 30th and Leavenworth. I've actually never had anything from there, but I've been in there a couple times. I'm like, why have I never actually bought anything? I don't even remember why I was there in the first place.
Did you go to like a tea?
No.
Maybe you're just taking pictures.
Maybe. I don't remember. International Bakery is located on Park Avenue and Pacific. I've also never been here, but I ride my bike by there all the time, so I need to stop in. It looks really good, and they have a lot of really good reviews on Google, so worth checking out probably. And then Hardee's downtown location always has pastries too. So, and they make theirs in-house.
Yep,
well.
at the Highlander location is where it's all from.
Yep. That's it.
Alrighty. And then since it's Pride Month, I thought we would shine a light on some LGBTQ plus friendly businesses because we do actually get that question a lot throughout the year. Never during Pride Month because maybe everyone's just posting about their events. But I will always recommend Benson to anyone who is part of this community because everyone's welcome there and accepted and loved. Okay. So a few places that I wanted to shout out from Benson are Edge of the Universe, Set the Bar, and they'll actually be having some drag brunches June and July. So I might reach out to them and see if we can as a team go or something. And then Ceremony, which is the vintage store in Benson, and 5-9. They're owned by the same person, but 5-9 is a stationery store and they're both connected too. So you can kind of intermingle between the two spaces.
Cool.
But seriously, anywhere in Benson. Pop Fiction Bookstore in Little Bohemia. This is the space for that. I feel like Little Bohemia is also another one of those little neighborhoods that's super welcoming, super accepting.
I agree.
And then Sips on 10th in Little Italy. Dry Spokes is LGBTQ plus owned and a great place to grab a mocktail if you are alcohol free or even just NA, which I learned there are 2 separate things.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What?
NA still has a percentage of alcohol, like a teeny tiny percent, and alcohol free never had alcohol in it. So you can get wines and beers that are NA, but they had alcohol in them and the alcohol was stripped from them. So there might be still like remnants of alcohol, but a mocktail, a true mocktail or a alcohol free drink never had alcohol touch it ever.
Whoa.
It'd be like if you were gluten sensitive or something, there's gluten free and then there's like gluten sensitive. And gluten sensitive would be like there's possibility that it touched gluten.
Is that why they still card you when you're getting, like, if I buy a non-alcoholic or an NA drink,
right,
like beer or something at like a grocery store, they'll still card me, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
What the heck are you doing?
Because it still technically does have alcohol in it.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Yes.
I thought people were just like being dumb.
Why didn't you ask me, like, this is there's no alcohol in here?
I'm not one to like, I'm like, whatever, I'll just show you my ID. But.
Yeah. Yeah, so I learned that there, actually. Okay. Tiny House and the Platypus Bar are also really great spots, and they're having some fun themed events, and I've put them in the event calendar, but I did have to like change the name on some of them.
Wait, why?
They needed a little bit of
like PG.
Yeah, PG-ness, but they look fun. So I've been promoting them for you guys. And then the Max, of course, it's the club in Omaha, the pretty much only
club.
But for more, you can check out our blog post we just did, and then our recent Instagram posts that's going out when this is filmed, so it'll be ready for you.
Yay. All right, I feel like we also should on this note say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this has how it's been in the past. Even though June is Pride Month, the Pride Parade in Omaha doesn't happen until July.
And it's July 12th is when the Pride Parade and Festival is, and that is because of the College World Series.
Yeah.
Pride should not be upstaged by the College World Series. Yeah. So
let that be known. But just so you guys know, if you're wondering why we're not posting about that, it's because it's not until next month. Okay, I think that's it. Let's move into events. So this is going to be events happening the weekend of June 12th through the 15th. You guys can always see more events on our website. We have an event calendar, or look out for our What's Happening in Omaha this weekend video and newsletter that goes out every Thursday. Most importantly, my birthday is next weekend. Yay. This weekend. Okay, but besides that, 75th at the Riverfront is celebrating 75 years of the College World Series being in Omaha, which is so cool. That is happening. I didn't even write down the date. I'm pretty sure that's happening on Thursday, the 12th.
Yes.
And that is, so from 6 to 8:30, there's going to be live music. And then at 9:45, there will be fireworks. This is happening at the Riverfront. So there's obviously tons of other stuff to do at the Riverfront too. Tons of parks. There's dog parks. Bring the kids. It'll be family friendly. And everything is free. So great way to kick off the College World Series.
Yes. Very excited for that. Summer movies are happening at Falconwood Park all through the summer. But this weekend they're happening the 12th and 13th. There will be food trucks and concessions, a bar. Gates open at 7, and they don't want you there early. So show up at 7. Movie starts at dusk. You can park and walk in, like you could bring some lawn chairs and like set up lawn chairs, blankets, that sort of thing. Or you can also drive in. Either way, tickets are $5.50 per ticket, and children 4 and under are free. And I thought I did write it down. June 12th, they're playing Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So that'll be a good family-friendly one. And then June 13th, they're playing 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, which I've never even heard of.
That's what I was just going to say.
But the weekend after that, they're playing Dazed and Confused, which I'm a Matthew McConaughey lover. Like, I buy all of his books, the children's one, the real one. I've bought everything. I listen to his podcast. I subscribe to his newsletter.
Oh my gosh.
That is my person. So I'm going to that for sure.
Okay, this is going to be kind of a segue or a tangent. Do you know what movie he is in next?
No. What is it?
Because I do. It's called The Lost Bus, I think. The reason that I know this is because an old friend of mine who's from Omaha wrote a book, and then the book got bought for the movie rights, and he's starring in the movie.
Oh my gosh.
With America Ferrera too.
Okay, I love that.
And I think it's coming out this year.
Okay, I will be on the lookout for all
But the author of that book is from Omaha, so maybe we'll give another shout out to that.
And I also have Matthew McConaughey's tequila. And do I drink tequila? No, I don't. I just have it.
How did I not know you were this obsessed with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, it's weird. It's the same way you feel about Taylor Swift, I feel like.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Well, Matthew McConaughey should go on an Eras tour.
Yeah,
You'd
he
be there.
should. He actually should give speeches across the world because he's so good.
I loved his book. I listened to it, and
that's what a lot of people say. I've read it 3 times.
You should listen to it because it's his voice.
I can hear it in my brain. It's locked in there.
You don't need to listen to it. You have your own audiobook. Oh my gosh. Okay. Strawberry Festival is happening at Nelson Produce Farm June 13th to the 15th. You can enjoy all you can eat strawberries, live music, scavenger hunts, face painting, sack races, donut eating contests, strawberry Dubai chocolate cups.
Oh my goodness.
And even more on top of that big list. Tickets are $20. I didn't look. I don't think that they have like kids tickets. From what I saw, it was just $20 across the board.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that.
One can hope they will.
Yeah, maybe when you if you buy tickets at the gate when you get there, I'm not sure. But Nelson Produce always has great events, so I'm sure this will be no different.
Another place I need to go to because I've never been. Another thing happening is the Father's Day car show happening June 14th and 15th at the Sac Aerospace Museum. And they're bringing it back this year because everybody loved it so much last year. So, it's going to be a fun event. They'll be showcasing classic, custom, modern, and muscle cars. If you wanted to show your car, you should have signed up already. Tickets are $17.50 for adults, $13.50 for seniors or military, and $9 for children 4 to 12.
Nice.
So go look at some cars. I love
Very
a good
fun.
car show.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Father's Day. That's happening this weekend
Father's Day.
Add it to the list of June events happening.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think that is one of the longest episodes we've had in a while.
We just yapped away.
I don't even feel like we went off on tangents or anything. We just...
Really?
Whenever I think we did a long episode, we didn't actually do a long episode. And then when I don't feel like we did, we did. I don't know what that means about my time telling abilities. But that is it for this week. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Omaha Places podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.